Welcome back to RobMotive. Wanted to get on here today and give you guys an update on the seat jackers for the Toyota Tacoma. Now, if you're not familiar with them, in my case, I only put them on the driver's side. You can put them on the passenger side as well. And what they do is they change the angle of the front part, in my case, of the seat. You can get them for the backs too. I didn't see any need for that for my problem. And my problem was I could not get the seat at the right angle in the front. You know, the front part of the seat, you can move up and down. I was driving around with it all the way up and it still felt like it was too far down. I couldn't get the support that I needed under my thighs and it was uncomfortable. So I decided to try this out. Oh, and one thing I'll mention, you know, I didn't even notice this until I had been in the truck for about 3-4 months, something like that. Because I've had people that said, well, gee, didn't you drive the truck? Did you notice that before you bought it? And the answer is no, I didn't. Unfortunately, when you test drive or even have a truck for a while, you don't discover all those little nuances until you're living with it. That's what happened in my case. So these things, they're blocks, they're CNC milled, I believe, aluminum billet blocks. They're threaded, they go in right underneath the brackets in the front. There's an install video on the channel. If you want to find it, just search Tacoma Seat Jackers. Well, RobMotive, Tacoma Seat Jackers, and it'll come up for you. I'll try to remember to link it down below as well. But anyway, they're blocks, they go in right underneath the front legs, if you will. In my case, you can do them in the back of the seat brackets. Very simple to do, 10-15 minutes, it's done. Gives you 1.25 inches, if I'm not mistaken, difference in height in the front. That gives you the ability to adjust that front part of the seat the way that you want it and still have some left. Now I can say if I put my seat up all the way in the front, as far as you could go, I wouldn't be comfortable. I'd have too much pressure under my thighs. I love this. I can get it the way that I want it. This is another one of those must-have mods, in my opinion. After living with it now for several days, maybe a couple weeks, depends on when this video airs, I still love it. I think it's awesome. It's now one of my top 2. I think I mentioned that in my previous video. Top 2 must-have mods for the Tacoma, if it bothers you. Keep in mind, all these things are really personal. You know, if you don't like the angle and you can't get the seat right, and you're having problems supporting your thighs, under your thighs, in the front, this'll do it for you. Money-wise, it's not the cheapest mod out there. Comes from a company called Desert Does It. I know there's some knockoffs and things out there. I wanted something that I knew was a good quality product, and this seems to be. Again, it's just a block of aluminum, so it's kind of hard to screw it up. The quality part comes in the threads and the way it fits. I can tell you it fits seamlessly. The threads are good. You can put it in almost all the way to full tighten by hand. It's one thing that I always disliked about parts that come that are threaded with bolts provided, and then they don't go in right. It feels like you're cross-threading them. You really got to get on it to get them in. Not true with this product. Everything fit the way it's supposed to. Didn't have any issues with the install. Now, something else I want to broach just a little bit, because I always get comments like this, and that's about the safety of the product. You know, you should never install any mod on your Tacoma or any other vehicle that you're not comfortable with. Me, I don't see an issue with this. People have made comments about, well, what if you get in a wreck? Is it as strong as it was before? Is the seat going to break free? Are you going to go flying? For me personally, I think you'd have to almost hit a wall at 100 miles an hour. And I don't even know if that would make a difference. But my point is you would have to be in some sort of catastrophic accident, wreck, before you start to worry about things like that. And then you probably have other things to worry about, because if you're in a wreck that's going to be strong enough or hard enough to cause concern for a product like this, you probably are not going to be having a very good day anyway. Plus, the seat, even if it were to come loose, and keep in mind, it would have to break all 4 bolts. It's held in by 4, right? The 2 originals in the back, the 2 originals in the front still, because they just go through the seat jacker itself. You use the same bolts. It would have to break all 4 of those bolts, and then your seat belt is not connected to the seat. It's not like if the seat breaks free, now you're freewheeling. You and the seat attached to you are going to go flying. Your seat belt, if you didn't know, is attached to the frame, the body of the car or truck in this case. So it could happen that, I don't know how, but your seat could lose all 4 contact points. Your seat belt would still hold you and your seat in the truck. It can't fly out. It's just not physically possible. Again, never install any mod that you're not comfortable installing. And of course, every mod you have done or put in your own truck is at your own risk. I mean, these are common sense things, right? I realize we live in an environment today where you're supposed to wear a helmet if you're walking downstairs, you know, because you might slip and hurt yourself. But it's up to you in the end. I love the product. It's made my truck comfortable. I'm not going to say fun to drive, although, yeah, there probably is a fun factor there, because honestly, a truck can't be too fun to drive if you're uncomfortable the whole time you're driving it, right? So I will make that stretch. I'll say that the seat jacker, as well as that pedal commander, you hear it? It's not really the sound, it's the acceleration. What you're hearing is the intake that I put in. But anyway, it's one of those must-have mods that really does make the truck fun to drive again. Changes it also. You know, it's one of those things that if you want to have a different experience, let's say that after a while, and this is kind of crazy, but it's true, you get bored with your truck, maybe you're considering getting something else because you just want that excitement again. I will tell you that this product makes such a difference that it feels like I'm in a different truck now, for the positive. So it's another way to kind of refresh your experience with the Toyota Tacoma. And it'll save you from going out and dropping several $1,000s in the form of a deposit or a new loan on a different truck. I know it's crazy, but it does make a difference, and now it feels like I'm driving a different truck. Love it. It's awesome. Leave a comment. Let me know. I'd be curious to your experience. If you have put in the seat jacker, or maybe you've gotten some other product, there are, again, knockoffs out there. Did it make a profound difference for you? Did it completely change your driving experience? And I know if you've had it in there for a while, you've probably forgotten, but think back to when you first put it in. If you have had it for a while, did it make a big difference? Make the truck fun to drive again, and if nothing else, more comfortable. You can now get the seating position that you want and that under thigh support, if, like in my case, you just did the front part. I'd be curious to know. Thanks for watching. Stay safe out there.